A year ago, 16-year-old Billy Morrison helped save his father from a life-threatening depression. Now Billy's father is fully recovered, but Billy finds himself at loose ends, so he volunteers at a hotline where his desire to rescue others can be put to use. Billy is placed in a phone bank with other teen volunteers under very strict rules that limit his interaction with the callers. First, one of our actors will read those rules. Then, we'll listen in on some calls.
Rule 1. What happens at listeners stays at listeners. All phone calls that come in are confidential. We discuss them only with other listeners, nor with anyone outside. No exceptions, ever. Period. We exchange first names with the people who call, and because we don't use caller ID or track calls, we'll never know their full names, phone numbers, or where they live, and they will never know ours. We're not their friend, and we don't develop any kind of ongoing relationship with them. Your involvement with the person begins with the call and ends with the call. In fact, if someone you know calls, you may not acknowledge that you recognize them. That would be a violation of the incoming's privacy. Rule 2. It's not about you. Always keep the conversation focused on the incoming. Do not reveal any personal information about yourself. Don't tell the incomings anything about your experiences, problems, or preferences. Do not give advice. You don't necessarily know any more about solving their problems than they do. Just listen to them and reflect what they're saying. Rule 3. Enter their world. Never question the reality of your incomings. If they say they're royalty, believe them. If they say they're the leader of special forces in Afghanistan, believe them. If they say they woke up this morning and discovered they were living in the middle of a spider web, believe them. Rule 4. Always ask. Always. Listeners is in the business of suicide prevention. You must ask each incoming whether he or she is feeling suicidal. If the incoming says yes, follow the procedure for urging the incoming to call the police or a hospital. But if the incoming doesn't give you permission to call emergency services, there is nothing